All right, so I'm working on a Bible study this afternoon and after having a morning of getting stuff done. I usually like to get my stuff done slowly in the morning, kind of like I said earlier in a video. I have my natural routine where I already kind of know in my head what needs to be done. I have some natural breaks during the day, like McDonald's took a while for my smoothie, Kia took a little while to um, just let me know what's going on. So I do try to get a lot in during the day because I can get slowed down pretty easily with things that pop up. So I need to find some paperwork that kind of popped up today for me. That's an extra thing to add to my to-do list today. And I'm kind of, instead of keeping it in my head, after I know what I need to do during the day, I'm kind of writing down stuff just to get it out of my head. So right now, the Bible study was a big thing I went to do today. I went to this class. I did not do all the homework from the first lesson, so I had to catch up from that and get this lesson done. And I am kind of relaxing and just taking my time with this. So this is a book by Lisa Harper. Whenever you study anyone's devotions, you need to line it up with scripture and say, is this true or isn't it? So for me, right over here, I think this is an experience that has been true with people. Lisa talks about how intimacy was difficult for her. She had been molested, etc., bad relationships. And a lot of women can think of Jesus as the king, King of Kings. And I heard this in another study this week, and it was kind of like, yeah, I think it's true for women. But thinking of him as your lover, lover of your soul, that can make a lot of women squirm and be uncomfortable. He gazes at me affectionately. So, God does love us. This is kind of my message for girls or for women out there who are looking for love in all the wrong places. Part of our, let's see, how do I say this? Like, I've had broken relationships with guys when I was dating as a teenager. And part of our feminine side is actually just being very submissive in surrendering things, not always feeling like you have to dominate things or you have to be the one in control, but allowing and trusting other like men to help you. And I'm not saying just trust any man. I just did a couple videos where a guy asked me if I want to ride and another guy asked for my phone number. So I'm not talking about guys who are looking for a piece of meat, basically. I am talking about men who you can trust, that you're willing to trust them so much that you're willing to surrender to their leadership or their thoughts and stuff. And that usually comes for women after they have had a relationship where they can trust men. If you've had men in your past you cannot trust them, then no, do not submit to them. You know, if they threw you or they yell at you or mistreat you, do not trust them. So as we have godly men in our lives, there should be a moving toward God, because addiction is I just heard this recently, addiction is a disorder of worship. So really, God is the one who has your heart. He's the one who is our lover. I think a lot of girls, like I said, are, and I'm included, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. I mean, I didn't even know what to look for as a teenager. I had no guidance. I had no idea what to look for in a guy. And I got used, and you don't want to have that happen. But as you grow in your confidence in yourself and then in your faith, you're going to see that God is the one who whispers, I love you in your ear all the time. We have a God who walks with us. He never ever leaves us. If you've had people leave you in your life, that's not how God operates. Once a Christian, always a Christian. And he will help you to grow and know him. And you know, I've got another study just kind of talking about I had an email from a lady today talking about how have you seen God work in your life. And for me, it was like, it was kind of like, usually big issues like, wow, look at that, look at what God did here. But as you grow with him, you're like, wow, I mean, you can see things better. You're like, wow, look at this today. God protected me from getting hit from a car. That happened to me today. God protected me, here. And oh, look, I just happened to find $5. That took care of that, salad I had or whatever. So we have a God who watches over us, and the more you know him, the more you're going to feel loved. And if you walk in that, walk in love, and if you walk in knowing God, your decisions are your core is going to change. Your decisions are going to be very different than a woman who doesn't know God, or a woman who wasn't brought up in a Christian home. So again, with the abortion issue, I am a minimalist, and I do like to deal with the abortion stuff. The more you know you're loved, the more you're going to choose a guy who will take care of you. You will have good standards. You will also choose to work with a guy, with your husband. And, when you're in love, you're going to work with this guy. You're going to want to have a baby. And the abortion issue, like I just said in my last video, is going to be a non-issue. So the closer we get to Christ, the more we take care of ourselves, the more life is going to make more sense.